It is amazing to see the rooftops of these high-rise buildings, which were once empty, now transformed into lush green farms. People have grown a variety of vegetables and fruits on these high-rise roofs. It is hard to believe that today there is an entire agricultural system built on urban rooftops, which has become very popular in the United States in recent years. Today, let's explore with us how farmers build rooftop farms. Rooftop farming is a form of urban agriculture in which food is grown on the roofs of buildings. However, not all buildings can be used for farming, and farmers need to assess the load-bearing capacity of the building to ensure that no accidents can occur. To grow crops on the roof, soil, plants, water, and farming equipment need to be transported. The buildings need to ensure enough sunlight for the plants to grow. In addition, windbreaks or bamboo trellises need to be set up to protect the plants. There are different types of rooftop farming such as soil-based farming, hydroponics, or aquaponics depending on the location and size of the building. Many farmers who choose soil-based farming will cultivate in regular rows to grow a variety of vegetables and herbs. Since the plants are grown on rooftops, it is impractical to carry water by hand, so farmers need to install an irrigation system. This could be drip irrigation that delivers water directly to the roots of the plants, which should be controlled by sensors to optimize water use and avoid waste. Farmers can also collect and store rainwater for irrigation by installing tanks on the roof. The soils used are light and organically fertilized for optimal plant growth. The organic fertilizers used in this environment are usually biochar or coconut fiber. Some people also use worm castings to create nutrient-rich soil. The crops chosen are usually light, fast-growing, high-yielding crops that are well-suited to rooftop conditions. Popular crops include lettuce, spinach, or kale. Herbs include basil, mint, coriander, and rosemary. Some rooftop farms even raise chickens for eggs or bees for honey production. See? The plants grown on the roof are really lush and look delicious. The farmers make sure that no pesticides are used on these vegetable beds. They usually use organic and manual methods to remove pests from the vegetables. This ensures a healthy ecological environment and does not affect the air in the city. It is wonderful to see the concrete roofs of high-rise buildings now turning into a green color of life. Many urban residents have become professional farmers as they regularly plant and harvest crops on their rooftops. Do you know how rooftop plants are consumed? They can be harvested, cleaned, and packaged for consumption at stores specializing in organic food. Many of these stores also grow vegetables on their roofs and sell directly at the store, saving costs and maximizing profits. Not only that, these organic vegetables and fruits are also sold to restaurants inside the building to serve diners. Because nowadays, organically grown foods are always favored by consumers. rooftop agriculture is currently only developing on a small scale in some developed countries such as the US and some countries in Europe. Although it is not yet widely popular, with the benefits it brings, it will certainly be considered a new agriculture in the future. Rooftop farming has many benefits. The most obvious is that it can reduce the extreme temperatures in cities during the summer. This reduces the amount of energy needed for heating and air conditioning systems, as well as the pollution created by heating and cooling. This also reduces the cost of heating or cooling a building. Rooftop farming systems can also reduce noise pollution from the city and protect roofs from the sun, rain, and wind. In addition, it helps cities become more self-sufficient in food production. It also provides jobs and creates business opportunities in urban agriculture, helping a segment of urban residents earn extra income and stabilize their lives. Nowadays, rooftop farming systems are also designed with multi-level hydroponic systems or combined with fish farming to diversify food sources. Poultry and aquatic products can be raised on a large scale in the future. What do you think if this system can be widely developed in the future? Leave your comments below to let us know.
Is this a giant pineapple? Well, it's not a pineapple, it's a plant native to South America, particularly Mexico, called agave. Strange as it may sound, this plant is the main ingredient in the production of traditional Mexican liquor, and it has a large consumer market in the United States. Today, let's explore with us how Mexican farmers produce millions of liters of liquor by hand from agave. To produce millions of liters of mescal, Mexican farmers first need to grow agave plants. The areas to grow them are vast, ranging from hundreds of hectares to hundreds of hectares in each region. Mexican farmers grow agave primarily by sowing seeds. The best quality seeds are sown in seedling farms to ensure the right temperature and humidity for germination. When the seedlings grow to about 10 centimeters, they are transplanted to larger farms with more light for optimal growth. The natural conditions in which the agave is grown also directly affect the flavor of the mescal. Therefore, farmers often pay close attention to the growing area to produce the most unique mescal. Agave is grown throughout Mexico, but mainly in the state of Oaxaca, with other states such as Durango, Guerrero, and Michoacán also contributing significantly to its production. According to reports, the state of Oaxaca has a total of nearly 16,000 hectares of land, growing more than 10 million agave plants each year, providing the main raw material for liquor production and pharmaceutical processing. Many farms have combined tourism activities so that visitors can visit the agave fields and explore the mescal processing process. The most famous tourist farms are Noble House, San Jose del Refugio, located along the slopes of the volcano in Tequila. With fresh air and favorable climate, it attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. This plant takes a long time to reach maturity, usually between 7 and 25 years, with some varieties taking up to 35 years. It's fun to imagine planting an agave farm when your kids are young, and years later, those agave plants will be harvested by your kids. In recent years, agave production in Mexico has reached nearly 2 million tons. Mature agave plants are harvested by removing the leaves to expose the core of the plant. This core will be processed to produce pure mescal. Mescal, with a long history, is produced entirely by hand, using a unique smoking method. Unlike other types of alcohol, mescal is made entirely from blue agave, giving it a distinctive flavor and aroma. After harvesting, the agave pith is aged in traditional underground pits. These pits are about 2 meters in diameter and can be dug long ago. The pits are lined with local tree wood and volcanic rock to retain heat after the fire. The agave pith is then stacked in layers in the pit, covered with soil and leaves, and roasted for several days. This slow, smoke-aged process allows the sugars in the agave to caramelize, creating a characteristically complex flavor. After brewing, the agave is crushed to extract the juice, a process that is also done entirely by hand using human or animal power. Once the agave is crushed, the fibers and juice are fermented into alcohol using wild yeast. Fermentation times vary with temperature and humidity, typically ranging from a few days to a few weeks. This time also affects the overall flavor of the mescal. Like many grain spirits, mescal production requires distillation. Most producers use clay or aluminum pot stills heated over open fire. These pot stills are much smaller than modern pot stills, allowing for more unique batches. Typically, mescal goes through 2 distillations. However, there is a special type of mescal that is distilled a 3rd time, which can include chicken, fruit, or nuts. This type of mescal has a more refined flavor and is often enjoyed during special occasions and celebrations. After aging, mescal is bottled in glass bottles and labeled with its origin and country of origin. The artisanal production of mescal is typically carried out by small families, following traditional methods passed down through generations. It not only produces a unique flavor, but it has also maintained tradition over the centuries, as modern production lines have evolved. The industry provides jobs and economic stability to thousands of people in Mexico. Mescal has become an important export product in Mexico and is increasingly popular in the United States and some European countries. Each year, Mexico exports a certain amount of mescal to different regions of the world. With a completely manual production process, mescal production also contributes to environmental protection, minimizing waste during the production process. Therefore, the government of this country often encourages farmers to maintain this manual production activity. After distillation, mescal is aged in oak barrels for a period of time, usually several months to a year, to enhance its flavor.
Usually farmers wait for the right rains to harvest a bountiful harvest, but it's different for date and grape growers in Pakistan. Rain can ruin crops, so they always hope for dry weather. However, not every season in Pakistan has delicious dates and grapes. To overcome this, farmers have come up with special preservation methods. Let's find out how they preserve these precious products all year round. This is how Pakistani farmers preserve 1,000-year-old dates and grapes. Pakistan is one of the world's largest producers and exporters of dates, with an annual output of around 560,000 tons. Arid regions such as Sindh and Balochistan contribute more than 90% of the country's date production. Date palm can grow up to 30 meters tall, with over 300 different varieties. Dates are nutritious, rich in vitamins and minerals, and good for health. During Ramadan, dates are a valuable source of energy for those fasting. It takes about 7 months from when the date palm flowers until the fruit can be harvested. The dates are hand-pollinated, which takes place around September to October when the temperature is most favorable. Male date pollen can be stored and used when needed. Usually when the dates reach the ripening stage, the farmers will start harvesting. Each heavy bunch of dates is picked. The damaged dates are removed, then all will be transported to the factory to be separated from the bunch. The yellow dates are washed and blanched in boiling water for about 15 to 20 minutes, then dried. It takes up to 5 days for dates to become dry dates and be ready for packaging before sale. In this way, dates can be exported around the world without being damaged. Today, there are dry date processing factories with the support of modern machinery. making the production of dry dates easier. In particular, production according to modern processes also helps control quality, thereby increasing the value of the product in the market. Fresh dates are usually exported to countries like the United States, Canada, France, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Malaysia, Germany, UAE, etc. While dried dates are mainly exported to India. About 95% of the exports are dried dates and only about 5% are exported as sterilized fresh dates, which is even less than 1% of the total date production in the country. Similar to date palms, grapes are also an important part of Pakistan's agriculture. Although grapes do not require as much sunlight as date palms, they are also suitable for growing in dry, loose soil. According to statistics, more than 70% of Pakistan's grape production is concentrated in Balochistan and some small neighboring regions. Most of the grapes will be sold as fresh grapes, serving local demand. Fresh grapes cannot produce all year round. To keep these berries fresh for the longest time, they use a very unique preservation method, clay barrels. First, they use clay to shape deep barrels of suitable size and then dry them. Then they will put fresh grapes inside and cover them with another clay lid. These clay containers will be sealed with wet clay, ensuring that there are no gaps. Finally, these clay containers will be buried underground or placed in warehouses where the temperature is the coolest. With this special preservation method, grapes can be kept for about 6 months without spoiling. This is an extremely special method and bears the mark of traditional culture. Grapes and dates are crops that are suitable for the soil and climate of Pakistan. However, in reality, the export value of these products is not really high. Therefore, in the future, the government and farmers will have to change the methods of planting, caring, harvesting and processing to bring higher profits. So we have learned together the process of producing and preserving date and grapes in Pakistan. These unique secrets not only demonstrate the ingenuity of farmers, but also contribute to preserving traditional agricultural culture.
Surely we all know that pests and diseases are the direct cause of agricultural decline. That has also been a fear for soybean farmers in China for thousands of years. The finger-sized green worms were once the #1 enemy of soybean farmers, but now they are one of the farmers' sources of economic income. So, how has this pest made farmers rich? Please explore with us now. Just a few years ago, soybean farmers in Sichuan, Shandong, and Jiangsu provinces were still afraid of pests and diseases severely affecting bean harvest yields. They even lost all of their harvest because of this harmful bean worm. At that time, no one could have thought that this harmful pest could bring in economic resources worth millions of yuan, until they discovered that bean worms could be eaten. Perhaps up to now, there are still many soybean farmers who still cannot believe that they have made a lot of money from these green worms. They are sold for more than 100 yuan per pound. Their price increases every year, and at times, the cost reaches 180 yuan per pound. Not only that, many farmers in some areas have even become rich by raising bean worms. Soybean farmers in Shandong and Jiangsu consider bean worms to have high economic value and are a regional specialty. They are used to prepare delicious dishes such as roasted bean worms, fried bean worms. In recent years, when human demand for food from green insects has increased, the nutritional value of bean worms has also been discovered very well. Rich in protein, essential amino acids, and essential fatty acids. Because the high nutritional value makes the demand for bean worms increase rapidly, many farmers have realized that at times, bean worms bring higher profits than soybeans. So they have turned to growing beans to worm farming. From there, a worm farming industry was formed in some rural areas of China. To raise bean worms successfully and with high productivity, farmers need to choose areas with suitable locations for them to grow, with adequate lighting, good ventilation, and favorable drainage conditions. At the same time, make sure there are no sources of pollution around. Choose bean insect varieties that are suitable for the local environment, grow quickly and lay many eggs, and have strong disease resistance. If environmental conditions are suitable for bean worms, it will help them grow extremely quickly and bring great profits to farmers. Raising bean worms in the provinces is even more profitable than raising livestock such as cows and pigs, because it does not require raising costs and is more expensive. The main food of beanworms is bean leaves, bean pods, and other legumes. Therefore, Chinese farmers can save a large part of animal feed costs. During the breeding process, it is necessary to ensure that bean caterpillars are provided with fresh, nutritious food and avoid mold and spoilage. At the same time, adjust the type and quantity of food appropriately according to their growth and reproductive stages. In addition, it is also necessary to monitor the health status of beanworms to prevent harmful bacteria. If a successful harvest season will help farmers reap a lot of profits. According to reports from beanworm farmers, a normal acre of bean plants can usually harvest 200 kilograms of fresh beanworms and earn a total income of 8,000 yuan, about $1,200 US. This level of income is sometimes even higher than growing and harvesting soybeans. In fact, in Liangyungang, Jiangsu, eating beanworms has become the most unique local culinary culture. Many newcomers to Jiangsu felt resistant to beanworms when they first saw them. However, after trying them a few times, many people will fall in love with this seemingly strange and fear-inducing delicacy. Today, there are many beanworm farming facilities in many places. Each year, they can produce tens of thousands of kilograms of beanworms, becoming high-quality raw materials for many high-end hotels and restaurants. A plate of pre-cooked beanworms can sell for 2,000 yuan during peak season. Thanks to its high nutritional value, beanworms are also known as bean ginseng. In addition to fresh beanworms, on the market in China, there are also canned beanworms or prepared beanworms. Consumers can easily buy beanworm products to prepare daily dishes. We have just watched how Chinese farmers make millions of yuan from this green worm. Please leave your comments below to let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe to receive the latest notifications. For now, goodbye and see you again! Xinjiang is considered the region with the harshest weather in China, with summer temperatures reaching 50 degrees Celsius but dropping rapidly at night. Due to the high temperature difference, agricultural crops are difficult to adapt to in this area. But Jujube is a new breakthrough for farmers here and helps them change their lives. Let's explore with us now how farmers in Xinjiang get rich from Jujube farms. The jujube is a native fruit of China and has been cultivated for over 4,000 years. It plays a major role in the culture, medicine, and economy of the country. From fresh consumption to drying or traditional medicine, jujubes play an important role in the cuisine and health of the Chinese people. Xinjiang is known as a land rich in light and heat resources, especially the Tarim Basin in southern Xinjiang. This place has long sunshine, drought, little rain, large temperature difference between day and night, which is beneficial for nutrient accumulation. Pests and diseases are not easy to occur, very suitable for jujube to grow completely naturally and organically. Therefore, this area has become an ideal place to grow jujube trees, while other crops are difficult to grow due to the high temperature. Jujube has become the main agricultural crop for farmers in this area. Proper irrigation and pest control are also important. To ensure the quality of the fruit, large-scale farms use both chemical and organic methods to prevent pests. By introducing natural predators such as ladybugs to deter harmful insects. Xinjiang's total jujube output currently accounts for 90% of China's supply, with millions of tons harvested each year. In particular, according to statistics, the jujube growing and processing industry provides jobs for more than 30 million Chinese people. Jujubes are usually harvested for the first time from the 3rd to 4th year after planting. Starting from the second crop, they will be harvested once a year. Harvesting time is very important because the fruit needs to reach maximum maturity to develop its characteristic sweetness and ensure the flavor of the fruit. Harvesting is done manually or with the help of mechanical shakers to ensure minimal damage to the fruit. After harvesting, tons of jujubes are transported to processing plants every day and processed using various methods, depending on consumer demand. Processing is an important aspect as it adds value to the fruit and allows for long-term storage. The main method of processing jujubes is drying. Most jujubes are dried after harvest because dried jujubes are the most commonly consumed type. In order to get the dried jujube products to meet the standards and taste, many farmers often dry them under the sun. Sunlight. With natural heat and light, large quantities of jujubes will become dry after just a few days of drying. However, modern factories now use large-scale dryers to ensure processing time, faster transformation, and consistent product quality. In addition, jujube is also an ingredient in the confectionery industry such as jam, candy, etc. If you travel to China, you will easily see products such as jujube jam and jujube candy sold in many supermarkets or grocery stores. Jujube is also a valuable medicinal herb in traditional Chinese medicine, used to treat insomnia, digestive problems, and improve overall health. Nowadays, pharmaceutical companies also often extract bioactive compounds from jujube to produce medicinal supplements. With many great benefits, the demand for jujube consumption is increasing year by year, making it one of the key industries in China, bringing in profits of up to billions of dollars each year. The jujube industry in China not only contributes significantly to the agricultural economy, but also plays a key role in the country's export markets. With the growing global health demand, jujube products are exported to Asian, European, and North American countries. Regions such as Xinjiang and Hebei have become major hubs for jujube production and processing, with modern processing plants established to handle large volumes of the fruit. The Chinese government has also supported the expansion of the jujube industry through subsidies and technological advancements, ensuring that small-scale farmers can compete in the global market. Bananas are one of the most popular and widely consumed fruits in the world, with billions of them harvested annually across tropical and subtropical regions. The world produces 135 million tons of bananas each year, and the value of the growing banana industry is estimated at $25 billion. Let's explore how farmers harvest and process large quantities of bananas. The banana industry is an important economic sector in countries such as Ecuador, the Philippines, India, and Central America. Banana production and export provide livelihoods for millions of workers, from smallholder farmers to large-scale plantations. Every day, farmers harvest hundreds of tons of bananas to be shipped to processing plants. Bananas are harvested while still green and unripe to ensure they survive the long journey to markets around the world. Harvesting typically takes place 8 to 10 months after planting, depending on the region and weather conditions. This process is labor-intensive, as many plantations harvest bananas by hand to avoid damaging the fruit. Harvesters use knives to cut banana bunches from the trees, being careful not to damage the fruit or surrounding trees. Each bunch can weigh up to 40 kilograms, so workers must be skilled at carrying heavy loads to the collection point. Because the bunches are heavy, each harvester also places a soft cloth or foam pad on their shoulders to avoid injuring or damaging the bananas. Large-scale plantations of hundreds of hectares often use pulleys that can harvest thousands of banana bunches per day. Harvesting bananas using a pulley is a more efficient and safer method. Workers tie heavy bunches of bananas to a rope that is threaded through a pulley mechanism. Once secured, the pulley allows the bananas to be lowered into the bin or container in a slow, controlled manner. This reduces the risk of damaging the fruit and prevents worker injury. This method of harvesting bananas increases productivity and worker safety, while ensuring high-quality yields, making it an increasingly popular method in commercial banana farming. After harvest, bananas are transported from the fields to processing facilities where they undergo sorting, washing, and packaging. Post-harvest handling is critical to ensuring that bananas maintain their quality during transport to consumer markets, which can be thousands of miles away from the plantation. At processing facilities, bananas are graded according to size, weight, and appearance. Only bananas that meet quality standards, are uniform in color, and free of blemishes are exported. Each bunch of bananas is washed to remove dirt or banana sap. The washing process also helps cool the fruit and slows down the ripening process. After washing and sorting, the bananas are packed into boxes or crates designed to protect them during transport. The boxes are carefully stacked to minimize damage during transport. The packing process is usually done by hand, although some larger facilities may use a mechanized system to assist in the operation. Bananas are also an important ingredient in the food processing industry, such as confectionery or snacks. Bananas are put into specialized machines to be sliced into thin slices and then dried or fried. Dried bananas are also popular in many regions, contributing to the diversity of the banana processing industry. Today, the banana industry operates on a massive scale, with millions of tons of bananas produced, processed, and shipped around the world each year. Countries like Ecuador are the world's largest exporters of bananas, shipping over 6 million tons annually and worth $3.68 billion. While the Philippines and India also play a major role in the global banana trade. These bananas are sold in supermarkets and local markets all over the world, from Europe and North America to Asia and Africa. Don't forget to like and subscribe to receive the latest notifications. And now, goodbye and see you again! Americans consume nearly 400 million pounds of cranberries each year, with 20% of those consumed during Thanksgiving week. On average, each American consumes about 2.3 pounds of cranberries each year. However, not everyone knows how these cranberries are produced. Have you ever wondered how these cranberries are harvested? The secrets revealed in today's video may surprise you. Let's explore now. Cranberries are native to the swamps of northeastern North America. They are a group of evergreen dwarf shrubs or low vines that produce red berries when ripe and have a slightly tart taste. Native people used cranberries as food and dye. Today, cranberries are prized for their high vitamin, antioxidant, and fiber content, which provide many health benefits. Studies have shown that this fruit aids the digestive system, strengthens the immune system, and reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease. Most cranberries are consumed as juice or juice blends. In the past, this fruit was often consumed seasonally, but now it is consumed year-round in processed form. In 2023, the global cranberry market size is estimated to reach US $2.22 billion and is expected to grow by 4.7% from 2024 to 2030. The United States, Canada, and Chile account for 97% of the world's cranberry production. Approximately 200 billion cranberries are harvested in North America annually, with sales exceeding $1.5 billion US. The demand and consumption of cranberries has increased significantly in recent years, largely due to the growing awareness of the fruit's health benefits. The United States is the world's largest producer of cranberries, especially in states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and New Jersey. The most prominent is the Ocean Spray Cooperative, which represents more than 600 cranberry growers. The United States alone consumes about 400 million pounds of cranberries each year, so it's no surprise that the berry is so popular. Every fall, from mid-September to mid-November in North America and from March to May in Chile, cranberries reach their peak of color and flavor, ready to be picked. That's when farmers begin harvesting millions of pounds of cranberries, creating a truly impressive sight. Many people think that cranberries grow underwater. That makes sense since we often see these juicy berries floating on water. However, that's only part of the harvesting process. Cranberries are typically grown in soft, boggy areas with acidic peat soil, often near wetlands where the cranberries grow on long vines. When the cranberries are ripe, the night before harvest, farmers will flood the fields with water about 18 inches deep. They then use a modern thresher, also known as a whirlpool, to agitate the water in the bog, separating the berries from the plants. Each cranberry has a small air pocket that helps it float to the surface.
Hopefully.
When they're fully afloat, the cranberries will form a sea of red, and farmers will begin using plastic ropes that float on the water to collect the berries. They then use conveyor belts or pumps to load the berries onto trucks, which take them to a receiving station for cleaning and sorting. Cranberries are then processed into jams, juices, and jellies. Over 90% of cranberry production is harvested by the flooding method, as it is convenient and saves time and effort. This method also helps remove fallen leaves, weeds, and pests. In winter, some farms flood their cranberry plants to protect the buds from frost. A small number of cranberries are also harvested using the dry method. This is the best way to get the freshest berries, the kind you can buy at the produce stand each fall. To do this, cranberry growers use a mechanical picker that looks like a large lawnmower. It has metal teeth designed to brush and separate the berries from the plants and collect them in a burlap sack at the back of the machine. However, this method requires higher labor costs and lower yields. Although the cranberry industry has grown on a large scale and is highly profitable, it still faces many challenges. Climate change has a major impact on this crop. Temperature and water irregularities in the swamps affect the growth, flowering, and fruiting, leading to reduced yields. Less cold and loss of ice will create conditions for harmful pests to develop. Therefore, farmers and researchers have tried to find measures to manage and develop this agricultural industry. We have just watched a very unique and impressive cranberry harvesting process. This is an innovative method that helps optimize costs, effort, and time. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next videos!